If Lane comes in here, and hell, if any head coach comes in here, I would expect a clean sweep of this staff outside of Billy Gonzalez. Jabbar Jalouk, run game has been solid. He slapped a player on LSU before the game and got suspended. Probably can't have that. Probably can't have that in the next regime. Two offensive line coaches, and the offensive line outside of Jake Slaughter has sucked. It's sucked. It is at best inconsistent. Two offensive line coaches. Russ Callaway, offensive coordinator, tight ends coach, wasn't trusted to even call the plays. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. I know it's just whoever's in DJ's ear with the headset. Yeah, sure. The offense has not. What's changed? What's been different about it? I mean, we released Trey Wilson. That was nice, and then he got hurt. Ryan O'Hara. That's the one I have the biggest issue with. 3 quarterbacks under him. Anthony Richardson, 6 wins in his first and only year as the starter. Made no significant mechanical improvements his entire tenure as the starting quarterback of Florida. Not one. The Indianapolis Colts drafted him 4th overall because he's a freak of nature, freak talent athlete. And he didn't even have that many snaps under his belt, so they took a chance on him. But it was certainly not a product of Ryan O'Hara that Anthony Richardson was that big and that strong and that fast. Graham Mertz came in. He got drafted in the 6th round. He was already a finished product. I love Graham Mertz. I miss Graham Mertz, especially after this season. But he's a mediocre game manager. That's okay, but that's what he is. Didn't have the arm, but he was pretty accurate, didn't turn the ball over too much, got a lot of respect, but that wasn't the quarterback coach. That's the type of quarterback that Graham Mertz already was when you got him from Wisconsin. That was the point, because that was all you could get after Jaden Rashada didn't sign here. Then you got DJ Lagway, who last season was low-key coached by Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz was on the sideline with a headset every game, and DJ Lagway would go off talking about how important, how critical it was to his development that Graham Mertz was out there as a veteran presence, supporting him, helping him, read the field, get a little bit better in practice, push him every day. And then he gets drafted, he leaves, and I know DJ was hurt. I know he didn't get the reps, but then he falls off a cliff? What? It doesn't make sense. Is DJ to blame for some of this? Sure. But the coaching staff around him, DJ's a kid, been the best player on the field. Every game he's played, age 6 in Pop Warner, through middle school, into high school. Then he went to the SEC. Started out pretty hot, pretty solid. Got hurt. Again. Then again. But even last year, the mechanics were poor. Some of the throws connected over the course of a game, but he wasn't an elite, accurate quarterback last year. 9 interceptions to 12 touchdowns last year. 9 interceptions last year. Good receiver core, all veterans. They knew what to do last year. Elijah Badger, Chim Dike, very solid. Okay. Then he gets hurt again in spring, around February. So that's February to August is game 1. Shoulder injury, so he couldn't throw. He didn't get surgery. He said no, he didn't want it. Okay, he's got 7 months to rehab this. Fine. So he's taking, quote unquote, what we're told, mental reps. I don't know what that means, but I would assume that you would want your quarterback out there at least moving his feet, moving his legs. And then we come into this season and his footwork has not improved a lick. It is exactly what we saw last year. It is exactly what we saw on his tape from high school. He throws off platform. He throws inaccurately. He waits and waits and waits. All these mental reps. He's not throwing until his receivers are already open, not before they're open. And that's leading to more interceptions. He's not just getting picked on deep balls that a DB is adjusting to. He's getting picked over the middle of the field. 10-yard throws down the field. How is this possible? This is a 5-star quarterback with all the tools to be elite. How is this possible? I can't blame DJ for that. He's clearly not getting coached in the way that he should be getting coached. And this is the Sun Belt coaches that Billy Napier brought into this program. There's a reason that when Princely Emmanuelin left this program to go to Ole Miss, and he got coached under Austin Armstrong, another Sun Belt coach, 30 years old, brought in to be the DC of the University of Florida, he said, I'm actually getting coached now. when he went to Ole Miss. And now he's playing on a week-by-week basis in the NFL. This is the talent that Billy Napier brought in. He was a B- coach at best on his best day, who hired C-tier talent around him on a good day, so nobody questioned the awful judgment he had calling the plays. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I feel bad for DJ. I want him to, if he came back and balled out next year, I'd be super happy for him. But I think he just needs a clean reset. I want him to go get right, maybe get the shoulder surgery that he's looking for. Just really focus. Go to a good program with a good coaching staff that can support you. And if you can do that, then I think he can go out there and actually compete for the Heisman instead of just being a top 10 and falling off the face of the earth. I would absolutely much rather rock with my recruiting style as Todd Golden is doing through the portal, attacking players that care. Walter Clayton Jr., Will Richard, Tommy Houck, Ruben Chinyelu. These are unfinished products. And Florida is doing an incredible job. They have a proven track record of saying, if you come back here, you will improve. Your draft stock will improve. We will see you in the league. Walter Clayton, leaving Iona. He wasn't necessarily where you needed him to be. He wasn't an NBA guard, that's for sure. But you turn him into one. Will Richard was everything that you could possibly need in an NBA player. Great off-ball movement, great three-point shooter, lanky, strong guard defender that can even step over and guard at the three if he has to. That's the type of player you're getting there. And you get him at 55 in the draft, but he becomes an NBA talent player that is now starting in games for the Golden State Warriors. Injuries, of course, are getting him out there. But there's a reason that Steve Kerr saw that. Tommy Houck, year over year over year. He's a little bit older for his grade now as a junior. But you watch him play last year, his rope gets a little bit longer, the leash gets a little bit longer as he continues to do better and better. And Condon gets a high ankle sprain against Mississippi State, and you see more of Tommy. You see him more at the 4. And then down the stretch, who's on the floor in the Elite 8 when you're trailing by 12, 13 points against Texas Tech? Who's leading that comeback? It's Walter Clayton Jr. playing catch with Tommy Houck, who puts up 2 threes. And then comes into this season, starts it off with, 27 points against Arizona in the first game of the season? I know all that preseason hype went to Alex Condon, but if you were in town in Gainesville, you knew that Tommy Houck was going to take over this team with a 3. There was no doubt about it. And now you're watching that unfold. And now I'm watching these draft mocks come through, CBS Sports, ESPN, what have you. And I see Tommy Houck as a top 15, top 20 draft pick, playing his way into lottery pick contention in a world where the youngest players are the ones that go in the lottery because you have more quote-unquote potential to get out of them. Ruben Chinyelu, under the tutelage of Golden and Hartman and this whole staff, you get a scrawny kid from Nigeria, from the NBA Academy in Africa. He plays at Washington State. He averages, 5 and 5 that season? Okay. He starts every game for the Gators at center last season, all of them. Played about 20 minutes a game because he couldn't keep his elbows in check. Kept sticking the stomach out. Couldn't get his hands up. His hands were down at his hips when he was playing defense. Now I watch him. He doesn't foul out. You're just consistently impressed by what he's doing cleanly on the defensive end, guarding from the 5 to the 1 at the perimeter. That's what he's doing. He entered the pre-draft process last year. 2 years ago, Walt did it and Will did it. Last year, it was Ruben and Condon. I had no doubt that any of them were going to leave this team because there was more for them to do here and there was more for them to learn here. And Todd Golden has showed that if you come back, you will improve. And this team has really improved.
Well, after a tumultuous top of the 8th inning where Jacksonville took the lead 4-3, it's a true top-of-the-order situation for Kyle Jones, who lays off the first pitch, flashes bunt, and pulls it back as a breaking ball churns into the opposite box for the righty. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Hopper closed out the inning for Jacksonville's. Back on the bump now for him. It's a 1-1 count for Jones. He'll lift one out towards right. Drifting forward, reaching out the glove and making the play is Delgado. F9 for the first out.
These are the guys you want up if you're Florida, down by a run late in the evening. And Jones, a quick fly out, not what you want. And Jacksonville going to be meticulous with this guy at the dish.
B-Law 1 for 2 on the day. Had a sacrifice fly out to deep center in there as well. First pitch, up high at the Gators script across the chest. And he hangs on to the bat. So Lawson will start ahead, bases clear, 1 gone, top of the 8th, 4-3 lead for JU. A breaker off the mark to the right side. Florida 11-0 against in-state opponents to this point in the season. Trying to keep the clean sheet. 2-0. Lawson has to jump out of the way as it breaks into his box. He'll do a full lap around the dirt circle, and he's ahead 3-0 against Hopper.
Florida hasn't lost a game like this season when the pitchers keep it close. They're 19-0 on holding the opponents to 5 runs or less.
3-0 pitch. Lawson holds off, but a get me over from Hopper is successful. Still a friendly count for the Canadian. Leads the team in homers. Walking towards first, he takes one glove off, and he'll have to put it back on. It's strike 2.
Yeah, he wanted that one.
Just taps the far side of the zone for the lefty Lawson. Bat high above his head. Full count, 1 out, base is clear. Checks up on the swing, down the line, they'll say he goes.
Oh, he's not happy.
Brendan Lawson picks up that bat and stomps to the dugout, very frustrated with the call down the third base line by the official Ray Parrish. Well, 4 outs to go for Florida. They trail by 1. Ethan Serwick fouls off the first pitch into the netting behind home plate. Three appearances today for Serwick. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He'll take strike 2. Pretty low. And now some frustration boiling over from these fans at Condren Ballpark. 0-2, 2 outs for Serwick. Lays off, and that's a tough take right there on the breaking ball. Just a hair off the mark. Infield back, outfield back for the power bat. 1-2. It's a drooper down the line. He'll dribble away foul. JU dug outside, third base. 2 retired to keep the side alive here in the 8th. Gators trail by 1. The pitch to Serwick. Rips it away high and foul. Reverse 90. 1-2. And again, Serwick with a slice that goes into foul territory. Long at bat here for number 10. Hopper kicks and deals. One more time will go down the third base line. A couple of hops towards the ball boy, and now to a fan on the berm. One and 2 again. Lays off and down looking. Hopper is pumped up as he walks and is greeted by his teammates. Pushed in the chest as he walks towards the dugout. Keeps the side quiet. Florida, 3 outs to go. JU, a chance at some insurance. Top of the 9th, coming up on GHQ and OBSN.